War. It never changes. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, guys? It's Pixelated-TEDAPO-LLOSVE. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys are doing well. And we are back with another siege battle in Medieval Kingdoms Total War 1212 AD. And as you can tell, this siege battle is already underway. We are in the bombardment phase, and the city is burning to a crisp. But yet, we must defend it. And I am already pushing forward my troops, getting ready the defenses. So I am commanding the Sultanate of Rum, and yeah, I am defending. So here's some of my Gulam foot guard marching to the front line, ready to prepare the walls, the gates, to hold against the enemy. So I'm showing you an Eastern faction because it's been a pretty long time. Words are hard. Pretty long time since I last played an Eastern faction. They haven't really updated them, so you're not going to see anything new. And especially the Sultanate of Rum, they're probably the weakest faction in the game. So it's definitely going to make things challenging. But whatever, I'm excited to show you these guys. They're pretty cool. I like them. Anyways, my ally is the Hungarian, so he's going to be mostly defending this side of the city where it's not burning down to a crisp. And our two opponents, we have the Latin Empire, and then on the other side, we have the Duchy of Austria. So pretty cool factions in this one. Let's go ahead and look at the army comps. You can see here that one of the attackers, they're already moving in. We have some sergeants pushing up the ram. My guys just decided to open up the gate. You're like, let's be nice, let's open up the gate. No, I think it just automatically did that there, but it will close up once again. Just kick out these civilians. Get out of here. Look at the civilian here. She's like, I'll fight him myself. Let me at him. Let me out. Oh no, she's just running away. Okay, good. That's smart lady. All right, anyways, let's look at my army comp. So my army is nothing crazy diverse. Again, the Eastern factions don't really have a diverse roster, but I have mostly veteran Ghazi for my sword melee infantry here. They're going to be holding up the front line. You can see they're in shield formation. And then the heart of my army, I've got about 5 units of the Gulam foot guard. These guys must perform well or I will lose. It's so important that these guys rack up a ton of kills. Very good with their bows and fighting in melee. And then back here, I have some spearmen. I've got about 3-4 units of the Anatolian spearmen. These guys are pretty good at holding the line. And I have a catapult. And I also have some shock cav over here, just waiting for a good opportunity to strike the Skari nobles. It's always nice to have some heavy shock cav whenever you need it. So now looking at my Hungarian ally, he's also bringing a very simple army, I guess you could say. Not a lot of different units. He's mostly bringing about 4 units of crossbow sergeants. And he has standard sergeants over here, high period. And they're going to be mostly defending this wall. And then back here, he's got his main reserve defense. He has the Pavi spears. These guys are so good at holding the flanks and whatnot. As long as they don't get outflanked, they'll do all right. He also has some bow cav. I have no idea how to pronounce that name, so I'm not even going to try. And then he has, I think, his general somewhere in the mix. Oh, yep, no, that's my general. His general's right here, Hungarian king. And that's it for the armies, so let's move on. You can see here, I just want to make this a little mental note here. My catapult, I forgot to turn off fire at will, and it's just firing. It's wasting its ammo instead of using it during critical moments. So that's something to not look forward to. So let's move on to the attacking armies. We'll start with the Latin Empire. He's got a bombard, which is currently knocking down some of the walls and towers. He's got a lot of siege towers, mostly consisting of foot sergeants, a high period. So it's going to be a pretty tricky unit to try to kill here. It's got some sword infantry, late period sword infantry, and then he's got, I believe, more foot sergeants ready to go, ready to attack the walls here. And then in the back here, he does have some spearmen. I love the Latin Empire spears. They just look so cool. I love those long spears with the very unique shields. Just unique stuff right there. And then he's got some mercenary men-at-arms. These guys are pretty tough to kill as well. And then in the back, he has some bowmen here. Pretty solid bow unit. Bows are really important in siege battles. Super important. One of the most important units. And then here is the Latin Emperor, Henry of Flanders. Excellent. Let's move on to the final army, and then we can get this battle underway. You can see here that the Duchy the Duchy of Austria pushing up their peasant bowmen here. He's bringing a lot of sergeants for infantry. He's got about 5 units of peasant archers, which, you know, whatever. Where are they firing? What was that? Did you see that? I don't know where they're firing at, but whatever. Don't question it. And then back here, he's got some Sergeant's High Period. He's bringing some mercenary Swiss halberds, so he's got about two units of them. Back here, he's bringing the Pavi spears. So he, as well, is bringing this great spears. Just the tank of the medieval world. Such a tough unit to take out. And then here is the Duke of Austria. Nice red and white. And he also has some Austrian knights back here. And that's pretty much it for the army comps. So we can now focus our attention over here. And you can see what Austria is doing. He's trying to burn the whole city down. And he's not doing that because it looks cool. He's doing it for strategic purposes. I'm sure most of you guys know, but the more you burn the city in Attila, the more we start to suffer. The defenders start to suffer. You can see here, they burned 18%. We've lost 3 in morale, 3 in melee, attack, and defense. That's horrible. That is really bad. I kind of regret giving them the option of 2 artillery because he's using them so wisely, and he's also using his archers very wisely. He's not being super aggressive. He's taking his time. He's trying to soften up my defenses before he actually engages. And now I've had enough. I've had enough. So I'm moving up my Gulam foot guard. I'm going to put them up on the walls here. And I'm going to try to fire down at those peasant archers. I really didn't want to waste my ammo here on the enemy archers because they're just, I don't know, they're not really worth the arrows. But yeah, I'm going to move them forward and just scare them off because they are just slaughtering my infantry. Because my infantry, if you look at their armor, I mean, they live in hot areas, so they're not going to have a lot of heavy armor. So I'm losing a lot of good troops here. So now I am moving my troops into position. You can see he's finally committing the forces through the gate here. He's now going to charge in against my veteran Ghazi. And the other unit's getting just shredded with arrows. But I need to quickly move them in as well. Try to surround that unit that's going through the gate. Come on, you can see my unit's already at half health. And look, more are dropping to peasant bowmen. It's awful. So I sent back my my shock cav over on this side. I felt like I would find a much better opportunity, and there goes one of the walls. He uses his great artillery there. I think he's got, I forgot to show you, but he's got a great bombard, knock down a section of the wall. But I do have reserves, just kind of waiting for the perfect opportunity to move forward. And there they go, getting ready their defenses. Come on, who's going to be the first ones to climb over that wall? We will give them hell. There is hell to pay. It's hard. Alright, here they come. It looks like it's going to be some mercenary Swiss halberdiers. Or maybe, yep, there they go. They're charging up. And I do have one Gulam foot guard in the back. If you look here, pretty good spot for them. I'm going to try to skirmish down that heavy armor. I am using heavy shot. That's the best options, especially since I don't have any crossbows I can use. Which is just, crossbows are so vital in this game, so I'm really at a huge disadvantage. But the Gulam foot guard, again, they're very good. Just, it would be great to have the, oh, wait, hold that thought, guys, hold that thought. I'm rushing out my cav through the center gate, and I'm going to try to run down some of his archers, get some revenge. Let me go ahead and get a point of view of a soldier here. There we go, running him down, and I'm also running down his artillery. So this is a nice, easy victory here. These guys are making they're making the ultimate sacrifice here. They are not going to make it back inside the city. I'm just going to run them around as long as possible and continue to run down his archers and make sure that they pay for what they've done against my infantry. Now my veteran Ghazi, they're holding back the Swiss halberdiers, which are just very tough to kill. And oh, there goes my officer. Did you see that? It was kind of hard to see, but he lost his head. Not a good sight. Not a good sight. Not a good start. But my veteran Ghazi, they're doing all right. But now he's sending in more troops, which this is getting a little out of hand. I'm charging forward more spears to try to contain the enemy because my strategy here was to contain them at the walls and then use my archers to kill the pinned down infantry. It's not really working. It's not working. The main reason it's not working is because my infantry, they're so bad that they just cannot contain the elite infantry of Austria. Now I'm forming shield wall. You can see another sergeant unit charging into my spears. Nice charge there. Come on. Hold. Now, I'm pretty confident in my spear wall. They should be able to hold for a decent amount of time. I also have some reserves over here. My archers are still firing, trying to give support. If we look over here on the walls, my archers are still firing up here. Still just trying to soften up the attackers. You can see he's now in the siege tower, so he's looking for more options to attack the city. And I also have some reserves over here that I might have to push towards the defense. If we look back over here, finally, the Latin Empire is moving in, but we don't really see a lot of troops on the walls trying to defend it, which is okay. But here comes, I think we got some swordsmen coming in, yes. So I think he's just going to wait for him to come down the choke points here, the little staircases here, and hopefully he will have some infantry waiting for him. He is firing his crossbows into the siege towers, but not really getting a lot of hits because it's such an awkward spot for the crossbows. There they go. They're getting some hits now. Looks like they're just like so gently flying through the air. Doesn't look like it would hurt a single soul. There they go. But it is definitely doing a lot of damage. And we have more forces coming this way. So my ally just let him take the walls. I was kind of hoping he would hold right here because there's an arrow tower which just racks up tons of kills in these kinds of situations. But he's gonna let him take it. So we'll head back over to my fight where things are getting pretty out of hand. My spears, I've got 2 layers of the Anatolian spearmen. Looks like most of them are pretty chill right now. Well, how did this guy get in the middle of my spearmen? Can we please kill him? One at a time, though. One at a time. Don't use teamwork. We want a fair fight. Okay. Thank you, Warscape engine. Alright, there's my cap. Oh, the captain's dead. I should really stop trying to look for my captains because every time I see him, he ends up dying. So, there goes some of my swordsmen. They're breaking. Unfortunately, he is breaking through this center position. My troops just keep dying. I do have some veteran Ghazi that return to the fight. Looks like 2 guys charging in. My arrows are racking up some kills, trying to focus down these Swiss halberds. I'm actually quite surprised he used his halberds so early on in this siege battle because halberds are much better at taking out like choke points in the last stand. And just look at all the arrows coming down. Look at that. That is awesome. And there his men. They're cheering as they take this breach point. My men do nothing but die. Die. All right. So my archers are in a sticky situation. I'm going to continue to hold my ground here though and continue to put down suppressing fire. But you can see that he's moving up some cavalry, Austrian knights, and we'll see the point of view of the Austrian knights as they charge forward. They slowed down here a little bit. I was hoping to get a couple more volleys, but these knights are so heavily protected that my arrows are doing nothing to them. I also have arrow tower support in the background, but here comes that deadly charge. Lances down, and he is mowing down my archers. Excellent cav charge there. That was very wise from him. And now I am down to this position right here. I have 2 spearmen, and I've got archers, and, well, I'm going to retreat them. I got archers, but they're not going to be fighting. This is where I do red alert. Red alert is code for get the heck away from the outer walls and retreat to the inner city because we are losing this fight and we have to rely on much smaller choke points. So I'm trying to save as many troops as I can, and I left behind the 2 spearmen. They will die bravely for their people, and we will remember them as they make this bold stand against such hateful hate. Hateful hate. Here we go. I'm just pushing in, trying to kill as many as I can. Alright, so let's head back over to the other side, see how my ally is doing over here, where you can see the infantry is now engaged. And we got a massive brawl over here. Most of my allies' sergeants, they are surrounded. Not a good spot. Not a good spot at all. But he's surrounded by spearmen, which is not terrible. Oh, we got artillery firing. Look at that. Oh, man. That was a good hit there. I'm not going to lie. That was a pretty good mercenary men-at-arms hit, or a hit on the mercenary men-at-arms. But I think he should be saving his ammo for the big blob right here. Now, he does risk friendly fire. But I feel like that enemy target is a little bit way too, too far away. And he's actually, look at this. He's actually holding right here. He's taking on some of the Latin cav. And his sergeants, I mean, the Hungarian sergeants are just so good, so well equipped, so disciplined that they were able to hold this. And you can see the dead Latin Empire soldiers right here. They fought bravely, but not bravely enough, not hard enough. But that's only the beginning of this main assault. You can see he's still got more forces in the back, ready to climb up these siege towers and try to take this city once again. All right, so he pushed up some sergeants, Austria, and I'm gonna go ahead and just, you know, give him a taste of what he's going to get pretty soon when he comes near this town center. Just kind of firing at the backs of his men. My spearmen are in the front line in shield formation. They're gonna just hold the line. I don't really need them to get kills. I just need them to buy time so my Gulam foot guard can focus down their arrows on the enemy. But we still have a lot of time in the battle. Let me speed up my camera here. It's going a little too slow. There we go. All right, and now they're pretty much in setting up camp phase. You know, they were able to take out this main defense. Now they can charge in the rest of their army and get ready for the final push for that town center. And just look at the struggle that took place over here. It was a pretty nasty fight, but I did not achieve anything that I wanted to accomplish, which is not good. Is that the gate burning people still? Sounds like it, but my spearmen, they're just trying to look for a place to escape. Doesn't look like they're gonna find a way to escape. Most of them were slaughtered. We'll head back over to this side, where again his poor sergeants. Look at this. He's got more men coming down. They're still surrounded over here, but they continue to fight on because that's the Hungarian spirit. Damn it! Oh, they're doing all right. I mean, this is a great opportunity to send reinforcements. The fact that he has them surrounded like this, his backs are turned, and I was hoping that my ally would send some cav over that way. It looks like his cav is already engaged. Actually, no, his cav is right here. He's got some heavily armored knights, the Hungarian knights. These guys are really, really good. I was hoping he would send them around and get some hammer and anvil on these guys. I mean, they're so occupied on taking out these Hungarian sergeants. You could save them and you could kill a lot of enemy forces. I mean, this is a ripe target right here. And I felt, I think I was trying to tell him, I was like, hey man, you should try to run down, I didn't type it, but you know how you have the paintbrush and you can paint directions? Well, I was painting his cav to go down this way and to charge the rear of this swordsman. I don't think he saw it, so I just went ahead and took my general, and I know this is risky, but it's, you know, sometimes no risk, no reward. So we're gonna charge forward and try to get a good hammer and anvil on the Latin knights that are harassing those sergeants. Here's my general on the front line here. He's commanding his troops. I love the Sultan's bodyguard. They look so cool. All right, here we go. We're gonna go in first-person view here. We're gonna save those Hungarian sergeants if that's the last thing I do, and if words are hard. God. All right, here we go. So we're kind of picking up speed here. My general is like, all right, man, this is it. This is it. Right past these bushes. Here we go. Charge right in the back of these. Yes, and he's not even paying attention. And we get a devastating charge there. My general is in danger, but that's the risk I'm willing to take. And look at that. Just look at the outcome of that charge. Nasty charge there. And his troops are beginning to break. And that is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And he's also, look at this, he's actually, you know, he charged in his Hungarian knights on the other side. So he made a nice cavalry sandwich there. But unfortunately, they're in between a rock and a hard place. They don't really have a place to run, and they're getting chased down by spearmen. They need to get that cav out of there. Hungarian knights are really good, but they are shock cav, and they're much more effective charging in and out, not staying in prolonged melee. But my general's falling back. I think I went for another charge there, but you can see he's chasing them down with the spearmen. Nice crossbow support there from the town center, but I'm going to get my general out of there and fall back. So there we go. Now we are at the next phase of this defense, where my opponent has not committed his forces yet. He's not trying to take it just yet. I do have some archers. I think they're holding their ammo. Yeah, I think I'm saving my ammo because this is the point of the battle where you have to do everything right to win this fight. So I'm trying to use my ammo wisely. I'm trying to save it for the very deadly units that I'm most afraid of, because his infantry is 10 times better than mine. Here comes another cav charge from my general. Unfortunately, look at this. Look at this. They don't put their lances down. I must have misclicked there. That was a terrible charge. Awful charge. Now I got to get them out of there. And the reason I'm fighting for this area, first off, this is a very vulnerable unit because they don't take on shock cav charges that well unless he forms shield wall, which he didn't. But the reason he is over here is he's trying to capture this capture point, which is going to hurt the morale of our troops and only help the morale of his troops. So this is not a good situation. So he's going to take that out. They destroyed 19% of our city, so it's still -3 morale, -3 melee attack and defense. And now I've got some archers kind of focusing their fire at the troops who are trying to take that capture point. Not exactly a great angle though, so I'm going to try to fix that a little bit later. All right, guys, here we go. Here's the first push from the Duchy of Austria, and I am just letting loose as many arrows as humanly possible. I've got my Gulam foot guard just trying to seek revenge here for all their fallen brothers, and soon the Swiss halberdiers are about to join this fight. We can see we actually broke his sergeants here. They just cannot take on all that arrow fire. Now I'm going to concentrate all my arrow fire on this halberd unit as they slowly inch forward against my spearmen. Fire. Yes, excellent. That is exactly how you kill halberds there. And then here comes another halberd unit. My spears are breaking formation. Another great volley right into the faces of those halberdiers. Unfortunately, they actually do break through, but I've got secondary spearmen coming in to try to support them. And him pushing his halberdiers like this, that's never a good idea. Halberdiers are a very slow-moving unit. They fight better when they move up slow, which makes them weak to arrow fire because of how slow they are. But he's trying to aggressively push them in, and by doing that, they break. They are breaking. And the other unit here is just getting destroyed by arrows. This is a really good sign. Those halberdiers, I was most afraid of the halberdiers just because they're so effective at destroying choke point areas like this. Okay, so real quick, I want to show you what's going on over here. I moved up some of my archers to fire almost like a firing range here. Or a firing squad, not a firing range. You know what I mean. So I'm pushing them up, getting them. I'm trying to stretch them out a little bit so more archers fire at once. And if he's just gonna sit his infantry like this, I'm gonna take advantage of this. I don't think he realizes this is going on because of the fight over on the other side. So he's microing elsewhere. I was trying to tell my ally to charge these guys because, again, this unit is very vulnerable to cav charges. But instead, he's going to charge in. I'm going to try to get one more volley. Unfortunately, they do not fire that last volley. And now they're going to fight it out in the streets. I'm feeling pretty confident. Remember, these are not your average archers. These are the Gulam foot guard. They're pretty good in melee. And so they're gonna fight it out over there. Let's head back over to other parts of the battle where you can see I am victorious. I defeated the first wave from the Austrians, and now I'm gonna head back over onto this hillside and prepare for the next wave of attacks. If we head over this way, amazingly enough, the Hungarians are still fighting, and yeah, he charges the back of his own men. You'll see him do this a couple times. This is I mean, I've even done this, especially during the heat of a battle where there's a lot going on. That's certainly something you don't want to do ever. Never charge the back of his men because he literally killed nobody there except for his own men. So you got to try to get behind the enemy. I know that's kind of tricky in these streets, but yeah, don't charge the back of your own troops, especially when they're engaged. And he does it to my men over here with this king. That's okay. I wasn't that upset. They're still somewhat effective, and they are crushing the spirits of the sergeants of Austria. So we are retaking this capture point. And let's see, we got another cav charge coming in. We got Hungarian Knights moving forward. Let's see, come on, don't charge your own men. There we go, he gets some of his unit over there. And he just, look at that. Even with like a quarter of the unit, they just obliterate these spearmen. And I think he also got more friendly fire on his own men as well, which is unfortunate. So he's going to fall back there. And now the rest of the armies are going to move forward. And that's pretty much it for the outer defense. That's all we could have done there. And now I'm recapturing, excuse me, I'm recapturing this capture point. My Gulam foot guard, they're going to stand their ground. We do have reinforcements coming this way. He does not want to give up this position. And he's got the very shiny Pavi spearmen here. Ah, yes, the Pavis. So they're pretty tough to kill. They're extremely tough to kill, especially without crossbows. So I'm going to try to get as many kills as possible before they get in range of my archers. But for now, I'm just going to stand my ground with these archers. And this unit broke. You look at this. The unit broke. This is that spearman unit. And they returned, but behind my men. But that's okay. They broke again. There we go. Now we're getting ready to fire down at the Pavi spears that are charging our way, or marching our way, I should say. Now, the Pavi spears, they're actually pretty weak to cav charges, as long as they're not in, like, shield wall formation or square formation. So, I was trying to tell my ally, I think he was focusing elsewhere, but I was trying to tell him to send his cav over on this way and to charge these Pavi spears, because these guys are so expensive and so important that if we can take out just one of them, that's going to make our siege battle a little bit easier, or defense a little bit easier. Look at that, though. I love it. They're just so cool looking. Marching through the city like that. Like, they don't care. They don't care. They're going to take their time. They're going to get to that capture point whenever they get there. Alright, so Austria moving up some late period sergeants. He's just kind of standing there with them. I'm not really sure. Maybe he's trying to absorb ammo, but I was okay with killing them with my arrows because they're a pretty tough unit. And I didn't want to deal with them full strength. So I'm just going to continue to waste more ammo on them and try to wipe them out. If we look at what's left of his army, it's really down to Pavi spears. And I know it seems like a good thing, but these guys, again, are just so hard to kill. They're so tough that they can easily win this alone. So I got to be careful. I got to save some of my arrows and whatnot for that. And remember how I told you to make a mental note on the catapult? Well, I realized that I was firing my catapult, and I saved a couple shots there with the catapult. So I'm just saving that ammo for a huge clump of enemy forces. And if we look at Austria, another great thing about his army is that he does not have archers. All of his peasant archers are gone, and that's one of the trickiest things about falling back to a town center, is just getting bombarded by arrows. We don't necessarily have to worry about that from Austria. Now, from the Latin Empire, they still have a lot of archers with a decent amount of ammo. I mean, most of it is spent, but it's enough to do a lot of damage to our troops. Okay, so the battle's a little slow here, guys. So I'm going to fast forward. I'm not going to make a cut here. You can see the Pavis are chasing down my archers. That's okay. Let them chase. I'm going to fall back to the safety of my town center. And he's going to continue push here. I was really telling my ally, I was like, come on, man, charge in that cav. You can do it. I don't know exactly what he was doing at this point, but I think it was just focusing on preparing to take on this attack here. And I think he moved up his artillery crew here to try to get me to waste my ammo on these guys, but that's not gonna trick me. Come on now. Come on now. Alright, so now he's moving the Pavi spears over to take this gate here, which again will only help his army's morale. But he's going to lose a lot of troops doing this because these arrow towers of Attila are just so ridiculous. And this is really good. I'm glad he's sending over such an elite unit to do this, because he's just wasting men trying to take this gate. And there we go. There we go. My ally is now moving in his cav. Let's see this charge from the king's point of view. And you can see the king with the white cloak up there. There they go. Lances down. I love it. Nice. And just obliterated those Pavi's spears. And just like that, they are breaking. One good cav charge, and you can break a very elite unit. Yeah, I'm not sure what the Latin Empire is doing here. He's just kind of taking his time, trying to get his troops in position. This is such a close battle. You can see the balance of power is in favor of them, but the man count, they have about 300 more men than us. So it's not that huge of an advantage. We're doing all right. We're turning this one around. All we have to do is deal with the Pavi's spears. That's it, guys, and a general's bodyguard, at least for Austria. Now, there's still a lot of troops for the Latin Empire, but we'll deal with that a little bit later. And this is the next wave of attacking forces. Here he goes. He's charging forward. My arrows are letting loose. My spears are ready to brace for impact. Nice charge there. Here comes the arrows. They're dropping. Come on, spears, hold. We have more reinforcement, more sergeants coming in. I'm now charging in what's left of my infantry. I've got some Ghazi. They're not veteran Ghazis, so they're not as good, but it's better than nothing. Just trying to hold them back, buy more time for my archers to use their ammo and just to slaughter these sergeants. And there we go. They break just like that. They break so quickly. And now these guys are moving forward. The Pavi spears. And I felt like this was a pretty good opportunity to use my catapults. And because like they're so blobbed up and they're so expensive that if I could kill a ton with my catapults at this spot, I only have about 2 rounds. So this is so important that they do not miss. So here they go. They're getting ready. I think they're getting ready. Let's see, come on, fire. There we go, fire. I used fire rounds to try to do more damage. Let's see, are they going to get any hits? No, they get like 1 hit, maybe. But unfortunately, they missed that giant blob of troops. And that's going to be horrible for my my defense there. Now, I do have another round ready to go. But this is going to be it. This is it. This is the only hope. Come on. There we go. There it goes. Come on. At least one of you. There we go. 1 solid hit there. Taking out at least about 10 of them there. The back shot there also got some contacts. Some nice hits there. So we're burning a couple, you know. But that's pretty much it for my catapult. Yeah, not a good sight. Not good at all. If I had full ammo, this would be a different story. I'd be just unloading on those guys. Oh, there goes another round. There we go. That was another good hit. So there we go. We're turning it around. I kind of recovered from not using my artillery properly. So these shields, the marching's kind of going with the music right now. It sounds pretty cool. The arrows coming down. The arrows are just bouncing off their armor. There's nothing we can do but to fight in melee. The fighting still going on here. Still trying to take out some sergeants, high period sergeants. I've got some Gulam foot guard who've used up all their ammo. I'm now going to use them as infantry. Charge. Hold. And then over on this side, we also have enemies charging in. We got the mercenary men-at-arms of the Latin Empire taking on the Pavi spears of the Hungarians. Alright, some more Pavis coming in. And this is the final push. All we have to do is defeat these Pavis, but it's easier said than done. You can get so many cool shots in this game. Hopefully they add some dirt and stuff to the Pavi spear, like shields and stuff. Because they look a little too clean, you know? Like they've never seen action before. Or they're just so good at cleaning their equipment. Oh, I saw that he pushed forward his general here. So I felt like this would be a great general snipe opportunity. So I focused my arrows on his general, but he was pretty smart about it and he decided to fall back, which at this point of the battle, that's very critical. Here comes a cav charge from my ally. And they're actually going to squeeze by here. They're going to sneak on by and go into the streets. And what I wanted him to do is actually use his horse archers to skirmish down the general. But he's in a pretty good spot. He can also fire down at the infantry that are fighting in the front line. So nice, get a nice panel over this, this main infantry fight. It's a bloody fight. You can see my ally has sent over some reserves here. He's got his Pavi spears who are really going to help in this situation. Here comes that general again. You see him in the background. There he is. Where is he going? Looks like he's going to chase down the horse archers, unfortunately. Yeah, they're chopping down the horse archers. He's surrounded by both generals. My archers were in range of both generals, so I was trying to just fire down. Even though if I got some friendly fire, it was alright. It's totally worth trying to snipe out the general. Well, look at the general. Henry of Flanders with the purple cloak. That looks excellent. So he's retreating. He's getting out of there. And there we go. Look at this. This is a great play by my ally, charging in his cavalry right at the backs of the Pavis. This is game-changing gameplay right here. He's going to try to turn this battle around. Excellent. I'm so glad he brought that deadly Hungarian cav there. But he just needs to charge out, get another beautiful charge just like that one. And look at their backs are exposed to my infantry. This guy's got a key in his shield. Excellent. So this is a really close fight, guys. We're not giving up just yet. And now my ally is trying to run down the enemy general, but he doesn't want to push his luck. He's going to fall back. He doesn't want to get stuck in a battle he can't win. My archers are still trying to fire down on the generals over here. It's just so hard to kill these horses. I don't know what it is. If I had crossbows, it would be a different story. Here comes another charge from the rear. Excellent. Look at that devastating charges there. Really saving the day right there. Excellent, excellent use of the cav. But now we got the general coming in. The general charging into this fight. Things are getting a little laggy here, guys. I'm sorry about that. Just so many troops. That's just Total War Attila for you. It's not very well optimized. Come on, Ben. Hold. The horse archers have returned. They're back there harassing the generals. So my archers, these guys have been mostly hunting down the generals. And if we head over to this side, just to give a little recap of what's going on. Well, not a recap, but just to let you know. The fight's still going on here. Nothing too crazy, though. I was quite surprised that they actually are not trying to attack different points of the town center. They're mostly just focusing on one side. But I'm feeling pretty good so far. I'm like, we're doing all right. We're actually turning this one around. I was terrified of his Pavi's spears here. He is actually breaking through a small opening in the defense. You can see he's got some Pavi's spears pushing through. Kind of zoom out so you get a better picture of the situation. I do have some reserves who retreated. They broke early on, so I'm going to try to send them back in just to contain the forces. And what I'm doing here is, you see how the spears are focused on this main fight here. Their backs are turned this way, so I moved my archers over to this side, try to fire down and get some good shots. I do have some vegetation in my way, but they should be able to get some good hits there. Fire. I've got to use heavy shots, so it's slower for them to reload. Come on, fire. Fire, you dogs. There they go. Pew, 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 pew. See if we're getting any good hits. Doesn't look like it. Not a good sight. Not good. Not good at all. Come on, Gulam foot guard. Don't you break on me. Oh, we got the... Okay, okay. This is crazy. Alright, so he's charging in his general, trying to take out my archers, which is a pretty smart play there, but so risky when you're attacking. So his general is now behind enemy lines, so I'm going to close in. I'm charging in my general, and I know this is risky, but this is it. This is now do or die. I'm going to kill his general, and if we can kill the general, then we can easily defeat his infantry. And there we go. The enemy general is dead. He is gone. There's his cold, lifeless body on the battlefield. And now I'm going to pursue him a little bit. Kill the bodyguard. They're pretty much screwed. There we go. Why are we losing hope? We just killed the enemy general. Like, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. But yeah, look at the wavering amongst my troops. Maybe because my general left their side. So I'm going to send back the general, keep them in range. My Gulam foot guard, they're going to try to fire a couple. Oh, my allies general. How did he die? Oh, did he run through the gates? He ran through the gate and the gate killed him. That's awful. That's just unfortunate. That's just one of those things that you forget about, you know? You're just so focused on other things. Now my Gulam foot guard are engaged in combat, melee combat, and all of my infantry are fighting. I no longer have any more reserves. This is it. This is it. My general's still alive, but he's just kind of running around looking for good places to get some good cav charges. Oh, come on, break, Pavi Spears. Your general is dead. You have no hope. They have hope, though. Just don't tell them that. And, oh, I got some Gulam foot guard who are breaking a unit of 32. That's pretty large. That's a bit too large for my liking. Yeah, it's got me upset. Oh, great. Now I'm upset. Alright, so Gulam foot guard. Come on. Just destroy those shields, man. It's ridiculous. And this fight is still just... Nothing's... Again, the Pavi Spears, it's ridiculous how long they can hold for. They're just holding back a massive horde of Latins. And they just cannot break through this defense. So that's a good thing. This is mostly our issue right here. And I was hoping this unit would break. I mean, they're down to 68. The general is dead. They're tired. I've got troops flanking around. I've got some Gulam foot guard who have returned to the battle. Oh, he's got some sergeants and Hyper trying to break through our gaps here in our defense. Here comes the catapult crew charging in. Now, my ally is sending over one of his Pavi Spears unit. He had him watching over this location here, just trying to protect this area. You can see the Latins are kind of giving up on this area. So he decided to retreat one of his spears and to support this main fight over here. So this is a good idea for my ally. Much needed support on this side. So now he's joining the front line to take care of these the Austrian Pavi Spears. He's also got the support of these sergeants here. Got more men wavering. These guys actually broke behind the enemy and then came back. So I'm going to be able to flank around these forces, which is pretty cool. But it's not going to change much. These Pavi Spears are like, who threw that piece of paper at me? What is this behind me? Oh, nothing. Fabric. Piece of paper. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad. General, I was trying to look for a good hammer and anvil opportunity there. Just wasn't there. Also, I was worried about the enemy general coming my way. So, at this point, I can't lose my general or it's game over. Let's see, how many men left? It's 1,100 to our 600 men. But a lot of those 600 men are Pavi Spears. So there's hope. Alright, so what I did with my Gulam foot guard, you remember they were engaged in combat against these Pavi spears? Well, since my ally sent up some reinforcements, I just kind of retreated back behind the Pavis, and now I'm doing the same strategy I did a little bit before, where I'm getting my archers in a good spot, and I'm going to fire point blank, or almost point blank, you know what I mean. I'm going to fire some arrows at the backs of these Pavis, and hopefully do some damage here. Here we go. Fire. There we go. They're getting some hits. I see him drop. Let's get another good volley there. What are you looking at? Fire. Fire, damn you. For the sake of our people. Stop looking back at me. It's awkward. Yeah, that heavy ammo. Just, they can't fire too quick there. There's another volley. There we go. See, they're dropping a little bit here and there. But unfortunately, the ally is sending up some sergeants to silence my archers. So I'm going to do a counter charge here. Nice fight there. Most of my infantry has been destroyed. The Gulam foot guard are thinning out. But the Pavi spears are not. And this great push for this hill is still underway. This guy's fighting through ruins. Amazing. Amazing. Alright, see how my my ally's doing over here. He's still holding. Pavi still have 121 men. My god. It's like this unit's been fighting this entire time almost, and they're still like more than half. That's insane. That is insane. General's going in. He's charging in. Trying to save the day. He's trying to take out these sergeants who are trying to flank around. And this is where things do or die right here. Once again, I'm trying to kill these Pavis. They just will not die. I was hoping to kill them before the general comes storming in. And here comes the general getting hit. And going after my Gulam foot guard. Not even going after the Pavi spears, which is unfortunate. But yeah, he is just obliterating my army with his general. He's gonna fall back out of there. There's the damn general in his purple cloak, giving out orders. My general has been slain on the battlefield, fighting ever so bravely. And now his general's gonna. Well, this is unfortunate at this point. I was trying to tell my ally, just protect the town center. That's all I want you to do. But he wasn't able to get his spears out of there in time, and he's gonna get a nasty charge on the backs of these spears. My army is pretty much gone at this point. Or not even pretty much, it is gone. And I was trying to tell him to get into square formation, because that's the best formation when you're surrounded. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. And that's pretty much the battle, guys. You can just tell it. This general is just going back and forth, charging into these Pavi spears. It's probably sweet, sweet revenge for him as he just slaughters our spears. And come on, form square, please. Please, form square. Oh, we're actually close to getting a draw in the battle because the battle timer was almost up. But yeah, valiant defeat there. That's going to be it. The defenders never win, or defenders always lose. Let's go ahead and end the replay here and look at the results of this great battle. And looking at my army, look at this. Look at this, guys. The veteran Ghazi, terrible. 4 kills, 3 kills, 1 kill, 13 kills, 20 kills. That is awful. My normal Ghazi, not even the veteran, got 38. They did better than any veteran Ghazi. Now, again, this was the heart of my army. I didn't do well enough. I mean, one got 339 kills. That's pretty good. 246. But I just needed them to get more. The spears didn't get a lot of kills, but really they were just there to hold the line. General doing all right. My cav doing okay, 107. But most of it was peasant archers. And my catapult getting 86, which is not bad considering I had like a couple shots. Looking at my allies' army, did pretty well with the sergeants, but I think he could have done a little bit better with his cav. 300 is good, but I think he could have gotten like 600, something crazy like that. But overall, he did pretty well there. Just wasn't enough. Looking at the attacking side, the infantry did pretty well. Actually, this mercenary Swiss halberd's doing excellent, almost getting 300 kills. And then we have the Latin Empire who his swordsman here did pretty well. His archer's doing pretty well as well. And yeah, that's gonna wrap up today's battle. That was a gruesome one. That was a never surrender. This is a tough situation kind of battle. But I'm pretty happy in how I played. At the beginning of the siege battle, I didn't do so great. But once I retreated back and I really used my strength, which is the, you know, the Gulam foot archers, I did a little bit better and we kind of turned it around. But yeah, that's going to conclude today's siege battle. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was fun like always. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time in the next epic battle.